Even though the field that I'm in is not specifically like lab work, it's not specifically to say that it's a male-dominated field, knowing that how you have these females in the other positions, like for example, our COO, it's kind of inspirational, you can say, to know that how we can even reach to that level and have the experience to even go beyond what we think of, and it's just that basic job. At the end of the day, I would like to think that what I am doing, it will contribute greatly to the people around me, as well as the work that I do.
Thank you to our partners, the Halo Foundation, WEOC, where innovative oil solutions count, Geo's, It's That Good, Simply Coffee Antigua, Studio 72 Antigua, Simply Me, Down West Car Rentals, more than just a good deal. In part one of the story of a woman, Giselle Diwasi spoke of knowing her role and function, her purpose, her aha moments, and to pick yourself up and dust yourself off game. Let's put into context and take you back just a little bit for those of you who missed part one of Giselle's story. We continue. This is the story of a woman. Let's talk about Black women. Let's talk about Black women. Let's talk about the issues and challenges we face. And let's not only talk about Black women, but let's talk about Caribbean women, because then that's another level that we're dealing with as well. So we're in a space now where competing is not the word, but enabling ourselves and continuing to do what we do sometimes proves very, very difficult. Just based on what you said just now, what that initiative that you started in 2017, there was a ripple effect to that. But how does Giselle stand up and continue? I know God is in charge, but what about when you are faced with you and you say, yes, God, I'm going to do this, but there's so many other hurdles and obstacles in your way. What do you do?
Testimony. Testimony. It's so funny, yeah? Because you'll find that when I do get into that zone, because I'm human, when I do get into that zone, like, you know what? This isn't making sense. It's too much for too little. It's too much for people who don't care. It's too much pain from people that I love. Let me come out to this and maybe we'll all be able to live in peace and harmony. And when I go through all of that, and I say all of that, and I feel all of that, it's either I have to snap myself back into focus, because a lot of times we look for love and appreciation in all the wrong places. And you'll say, and I wouldn't necessarily go for the word validation, but appreciation, you understand, is something so important. It's important to keep people's morale up. It's important for people to know that for them to continue to do for you. But when somebody, is insatiable and you say, here, Nicola, here's 2 coffee cups, so you couldn't give me 4? That doesn't make me want to even give you 1. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? So based upon that, based upon, trying to remain focused, and then having people like you call me up, you wouldn't believe, you a testimony. This is a dread time of the year for me. Anybody who does this or knows me and knows what I go through at this time, it's a dread time of the year for me. It's a time where, everything feels overwhelming. You keep questioning yourself, why are you doing this, boy? Why I putting myself through this, Jesus? And then somebody like you calls and say, hey, G, I'm doing a story on the strength of a woman. And that's, I don't want to cry, but those little things, that's testimony. That's God telling me, hey, I send Nicola to let you know you're good. You're not doing the wrong thing. You're in the right place at the right time. You know what I mean? Even with the makeup artist this morning, like her conversation with me, it was just, and these are the little things. And again, when you know who you are and you're spiritually aware and awake, I think that's the key to it, you know. I think another thing is that people don't realize that the strongest thing, I don't care how much gym you're going, the strongest thing that God has ever given you is your mind. You can think yourself into wellness. You can think yourself into greatness. You can think yourself into being and any and everything that you want to be, good, bad, or indifferent. You know, and again, some of us who have power and understand power, we use for good, and some of us use for bad. So it's just being able to differentiate and being able for people to recognize who you are. And more than that, more than who you are, okay, maybe it may not be the greatest. What you want to be remembered by. What is your legacy? What is your legacy? You know, and I was, like I said, we were talking before, just us, you know, getting ourselves prepared. And I was telling you how Whitney Houston, she's one of the people, you know, although she was troubled, it's so understandable, because when you put your heart at the forefront of your person, you open yourself up for so many things. And I know, because I go through that all the time. And it was sad that a part of her was weak and felt like she needed to put herself in jeopardy. Because when you go to those levels, I mean, we all indulge in something that may not be, you know, for everyone. But I'm just saying, when you go to those levels, there's a little bit of self-destruction within you. And a lot of times the people that you love don't realize that they're doing that to you by applying unnecessary pressure. It wasn't necessarily the public that did that, you know, it was the people in her direct circle that was applying so much pressure that she didn't know how to handle, because she wanted to go to every limit to make them happy and to please them, to take them out of, be it poverty, to take them out of a bad day, so she extended herself so much that she lost herself. Really easy to happen. That's why you see so many stars, and that's one of the things that I always try to take in. So many stars, people that you think are quote unquote successful, taking their lives or ending up in these desolate, desperate positions. I can see it. I'm not on any of those levels, but I can see it and I can understand it. You know what it's like for 2 months for your phone to be ringing constantly, everybody feeling like they can't live without you, they have to talk to you every minute. And then as soon as whatever it is done, not a soul, not a call on Christmas, not an invitation to a Thanksgiving, nothing, boy.
Yeah, I hear you with that.
The average person can't live through that.
Can't live through that.
The average person can't go through that. You understand?
And
They won't understand it. Listen, you know how many people just want to know how I'm doing during Army Fest or during Miami Carnival? Any other day of the year you think they care? That's the most, hey, how you going, girl? So long I ain't see you. That's the most I'll get. After that, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Yeah. So tell me though, as a black woman, do you find it more difficult?
Yes and no. So when I say yes and no, yes, it is more difficult. It's not whether I find it. It is more difficult. However, I use that as an empowering tool. So when you see this black woman, you go say, ah, boy. You understand? So you, okay, for example, you'll know to yourself, for me, I don't do it often, but let's say I decide I want to go through corporate America to ask them to be a part of something that I'm doing for my culture and for my people. Prior to me getting in there, just the mere fact that I've already said that it's something Caribbean, it's something, they've already put a kind of, especially in South Florida because of all of the various situations that our carnival has been in. So they know of us because the carnival is 30-something years old, and they know of it's so bad, and it's like a husband and wife couple that you know they're gonna fight before the night is out, so they kind of know what we are, or at least what they think we are, but they haven't experienced me, or they haven't experienced you. So you're kind of going in there with a stigma
already.
Right. So I usually try to change that around and let them know that, yes, I'm well aware of the things that you know, but you don't know me. You know what I mean? So it's about it's looking at the glass half full or half empty. I don't really try to dwell on negative things. I don't like words like haters and competition and things. They don't really exist in my arena, because when you create your own space, you're not really competing with anybody, and you can't be insecure.
Focus.
As my mother, I'm now going to tell you, as my mother say, girl, put your blinders on and keep going. You know, that's my empowerment. My mother, my father, my family, my family friend circle, because I don't consider you guys my friends. I consider you guys my family. You know what I mean? So I mean, those little things. Gee, don't worry, girl, you're doing it. You know what I mean? Those little things. That's my testimony. That's my okay. That's my. If you had to whip the horse, that's my whip, and that's what keeps me going. You know what I mean? And more than that, the people. So many young people, you know, come to me and they're like, "Oh, I remember you doing this," and Auntie G, I was a Wasi babe. You know, it's crazy just to see your whole thing come full circle. And you know, my daughter adores you. She's 7. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, wow. That's those things, those are the things, that's my momentum. Those are the things that keep me going. That's the things like, yes, Gil, yes. Even if it's 1 7-year-old, you have that 1 7. You know what I mean? Something has to be your cheering squad. And a lot of times I have to dig deep and find it within myself. And I think those are the things that honestly make you stronger. Sometimes people feel like when people leave you alone in your dark moments, that's bad, or that it's always negative. Sometimes that's something that maybe some of us need to do, to know how strong we are, or to know how far we can be pushed, or to even try ourselves and figure out, hey, what's really, oh my gosh, you have all of that? Wow. You know what I mean? So I really try not to look at any situation as negative. I really, really try to turn it all around. Maybe sometimes because I want to, and maybe sometimes because I don't have a choice. You know what I mean? But either way, I'm glad that's been my journey, you know?
So let's talk a little bit about legacy. And, you know, within the last 2 years, we've shared some common persons who would have passed, just like that, women. Just recently, Kimberly from 96.1 in Trinidad.
You made all my poetry. She's born on the same day as me.
Yeah.
We share the same birthday, April
Wow.
23rd.
That's just really so sad. And then, of course...
And let me go deeper than that, you know? As much as I do radio and as much as I do the television and all of those things in Trinidad, 96.1, from beginning, even when, you know, we were very much affiliated and stuff, has always been, it was always like a trying situation for me, you know? And full love and respect to the full team. But Kimberly, Clyde the Outlaw.
Yeah, always embraced her.
Always. When I did my song with Edwin Yearwood, that was the first time I ever did an interview as Giselle Blanche, / artist, or, you know, versus going in and promoting. And they were the ones who embraced me. And just her vibe, her energy, I asked her right after, say, when is your birthday? Because I'm big on that. She's like, April 23rd. And that was just surreal to me.
It was a wrap.
Yeah. And then, you know, it's funny because it wasn't necessarily public that she was ill at first. And somebody mentioned it to me. I was like, no, man. I saw her the other day. She looked great, you know, and then just to be, and again, I didn't find out from anybody personal. I just happened to be going on social media to post something.
And it was there. It was there. So
I was
like
what? Yeah. And then our Carlette.
Well, I was going to...
Devon Matthews. Yeah. I mean, Carlette in particular was like a sister, you know? Plenty nights we drink, we Guinness and Stag and drink together, Gil. You know what I mean? And like, realist of the real. You know, she was a very prominent person in the States and decided she wanted to go back home to be with her mom and help out her mom and stuff. And, you know, went to Trinidad and was faced with and met so much contention and disrespect, you know, and something about her just kept her spirit up and alive and just unstoppable. And, you know, when I finally saw, and I mean, I said this to you before, but just, I always thank God for you to give her at least that before she left this earth. The opportunity that she had on the morning show is like embracing her as her and just, you know, everybody in life wants that. Everybody in life, everybody in life wants that. And we spend so much time judging people on the surface and have no clue what people go through.
Thank you to our partners, the Halo Foundation, WEOC, where innovative oil solutions count, Geos, It's That Good, Simply Coffee Antigua, Studio 72 Antigua, Simply Me, Down West Car Rentals, more than just a good deal.
My reason for reaching out to you is because I think that your influence is so positive that we just need to get you to tell your story and to enhance the younger women, the younger girls who are looking on, even the women, the mature women like ourselves who, you know, they don't have that platform or they can't identify with anything.
So, okay, let's use ourselves as an example. There was a time when we were the popular girls, the kind of it girls, the girls the guys liked and that type of thing. So we've, I think, been on every side of the coin, to be honest, where, everybody wanted to be around you or wanted to be in your space because of who you were and who you knew and where you were and that type of thing. We've also been in situations where it's been the total opposite. Is because of who you are and because of where you've been. They don't want anything to do with you, or even people saying, oh, she's just a pretty girl. She has no value. She can't read the news. She can't, you understand what I'm saying? And again, just deciding for you what your fate and what your destiny should be. And again, in very similar respects, you've come from some of the greatest situations in perspective, huh? People just perspective and perception. Let me just say that first. That perspective and perception become people's truths, no matter what you say. So even me saying to you that all the people that I love hurt me in some way, shape, or form, and sometimes continue to do so, the average person would believe that. Now they're going to be looking at everybody and looking at their picture. Oh God, look, she loves Nicola. Is Nicola who should she? You know what I mean? But it's just again perception. Yes. And how people. So okay, same thing. You understand what I'm saying? You've been in some of the greatest situations that people would ever say, wow, she got to do this. Mm-hmm. And you walked away from it because it wasn't fulfilling, or you weren't respected enough, and you weren't willing to be a puppet, and you weren't willing to sacrifice your morals. Listen, I've had every opportunity to be on pretty much every radio station, a part of every sound, and because they wanted to make me be like them versus like me, I've turned those things down.
Thank you. No, thank you.
You understand what I'm saying?
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
But
you understand, and that is when you truly believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. And you truly believe in your ability. I don't want to say talent, because when you say talent, people always think it has to be on TV or radio or so. Your ability, whatever your ability is. If your ability is to be the greatest cleaner in the world, that's your ability that nobody can take away from you. If your ability is to be the greatest sex worker in the world, nobody can take away that ability. Everybody, no matter what you choose to do in this life, I'll tell you how my father said, if you want to be a janitor, you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, be the best
at it.
At it.
Yeah, that is a fact. Because it takes so many of us, takes all of us to make up this world. Somebody has to do it. We look down on people, and I say we because I know that at some point in time we may be guilty of it, even if it's a little bit. And then some of us, we have to check ourselves, like.
Okay, so for example, that person, the same person who when you was at the job or you were at the gig, tried to sabotage you. When you see that it turn around and bite them, oh God, a little part of you as a human will say, mm-hmm, yep. And so it continues. And then you have to say, you know what? No, let me leave them. God is the boss.
Leave it alone.
You understand?
Yep.
But again, even being public people, like people don't understand the levels of scrutiny that we go through. So even if, let's say, for example, you lost your job, or you get cut from a gig, what you're going through personally is one thing. Then what the public tries to put you through is a whole other.
Totally different ballgame.
So, I always tell people that the ones who like to sit back and criticize, to a certain degree, I consider them cowards. For the simple reason that, would you do what I do? Would you be willing to put yourself on the front line or go to a radio station, not necessarily know what you're doing, but just having a passion, and people calling you, shut up, you talk too much. You're too loud, you're too dark, you're too light, your hair too short, your hair too... Could you go through that and keep on trucking? And every time they see a smile, could you do that? Yeah. Until you could tell me that you could do that safely, consistently, then your voice doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, it doesn't. At the end of the day.
And a lot of us go through that, and I hope that for my peers, both male and female, because again, we tell our story as women because we are based on emotion. You understand? So we are able to express ourselves in a certain way and on a certain level. A man is stifled when it comes to that, especially a Caribbean man, because strength, when you cry as a Caribbean man or you express it, you're weak.
weak.
You understand?
Weak is
You're
not the
weak.
word.
Right, exactly. But you know, so many things. So many of my peers as well suffer from so many anxiety things, so many, you know, insecurity issues that they can't show, and sometimes makes them interact and react poorly. So let me just say that in their defense is that so many of the people that we may give a really hard time in the industry, especially our male figures and our females as well. But let me just deal with the men, and I'm gonna deal with the ladies after. With the men in particular, ease them up. Ease them up. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to have to get up every day, whether they feel good or not. Think about a woman on her cycle. Regardless of whether we have it or not, we have to come here and smile. Oh. Nobody wants to do that. I want to lay in my bed, but I do that, and I do that for you. And I do that to let you know, as well as myself, that we strong, we could get through this. And if I could do this then I could do anything. A lot of these fellas are under unnecessary pressure. And like I said, it makes them react poorly within their environments and sometimes within society. Let's be a little less harsh on the judgments. You know what I mean? I think that's killed a lot of people. A lot of people who've taken their lives, like I say, both in our diaspora as well as throughout the world, is for that, because they're afraid of being judged.
And we are not here to judge anyone. We're not. We're not. But we don't recognize
I'm
that.
imperfectly perfect.
And
tell people that
I say cheers to that.
all the time. You understand? I don't try to be anybody else or anything else but me. I'm good with me. If you're not good with me, then you deal with that on your time. I'm good with me. And I can safely say that about everything that I've done. God forbid the Father was to take me where today, I could say yes. I think all the people that I love know that I love them. I think my message of passion and love for my people and my culture, I think that's pretty straightforward and understood at this point. I don't feel like whether they love me or they don't love me, or whether they like me or they don't like me, or they respect me or don't respect me, I think they all fully understand that, yeah, she's a real one, you know, and I'm cool with that. My son thinks the world of me, and you know, that's the important thing for me. People always ask me, you know, oh, you know, you should, they say things like, you know, I should be more involved in social media, and I should advertise more, and I should do this. I feel at this stage in my life, if you really want to be me, be with me or around me or a part of me or anything that I do, you know where to find me.
Yep, you will be.
You know, so I tell people, not that I discrediting promotion and thing, you know, I'm just saying that at this stage, it's like me. Okay, and let's just use this as an example. God forbid something was to happen to you right now, whether this was a great moment or a bad moment for you. There's somebody that's on your speed dial, and every time something happens great to you or bad to you, that's the person that you call. Mm-hmm. Right? Yep. Whether you talk every day or not, that's the first person that you call. So I consider myself that person.
Wonderful.
So I don't have to fight up or beat up. And like I say, once the people that I love and respect are proud of me, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? That's the most important. The fact that my son will sit here and tell me, Mom, you're so awesome. That's enough for me.
That's the best feeling in the
world,
right?
You know, it is. My nieces and my nephews and my godchildren, I mean, they're all like my kids. You know, the mere fact that they want to be around me, that they continue to help me, that they are my backbone at this point is, I think that speaks of my legacy. I think that is my legacy. And you know, a lot of times in my presentations and that type of thing, I try to tell my story. You know what I mean? So just an example, my kiddies band, the presentation for 2019 is This Is the Place. Because I always try to teach the kids something. Last year I did Caribbean treats, and it's so crazy. All the little children from the band who went to Carnival or went to their respective countries throughout the summer. Auntie G, I had a Joe Gum. Auntie G, I had a Kaiser ball. Like, just based upon their little costumes. And so, you know, I realized that it's an opportunity to teach. And so This Is the Place is based upon the Caribbean and all the things that make us similar, like the flora and the fauna, that every island is a tropical paradise in its own respect. You understand? So I try to tell my story of who I am, what I represent, and where we are. My band this year is Empire. And that is about my legacy. And then again, here you are. So everything does always end up falling into line and being a legacy. And my theme for Juve's Caribbean Woodstock, because you know me, we easy breezy, we full of love. We want that again. We want that time, not necessarily for promiscuity or for you know, the things that Caribbean was, some of the things, elements, but for that love, for that openness, for that freeness. for that everybody is everybody. You're not better than me, no matter your race, color, creed, financial background. It doesn't matter. When everything happens, look at my friends in Abaco, in the Bahamas. That's one of my places. I started a juve in Abaco this year. One of my godchildren, one of the lady who I work with, Jennifer Duncombe, she had a place called Colors by the Sea. Then she had a Club Utopia, obliquely opposite each other on a road. The restaurant came and blew the club down. She lost her home, she lost everything. This is a woman of means who now has nothing. Yeah? When the first call I got from her after everything happened, she was like, "Oh, you look so beautiful." This time I now wake up, "You look so beautiful. I'm so happy to see you. I didn't think I would see you again." And they were like, "Oh, Giselle, when you talk to her, don't cry." But you know me already. That was hard. So she started. You know, God has a way of speaking to us, and you have to listen. When you don't listen, you know what they say as West Indians: hard as you don't hear, hard as you will feel. You know what I mean? And we have to know that when you have, you must share. You understand? Even when you don't have, share, because you still have time. Everything isn't about something material, you know, and that's what I do. I can't tell you the last day I must have say, "Oh, let me go to the store and buy gifts to my godchildren or whatever," but my time, their access to me, my love, unlimited. And like a phone plan. You know, it's unlimited. So, you know, people need to know that everything is not about material things, and we need to spend more time dealing with the human spirit. Mental illness in the Caribbean is also something that we don't take enough time to acknowledge, you know?
Yeah, that's another story by
Yeah, that's a whole other story. But there's so many things that we go through, and honestly, like I said, people say kindness is weakness. I say kindness is strength. I say being submissive and being in tune with yourself and your feelings, that is strength. So if it is, you know, everybody saw me today and a little tear come in my eye and say, "Oh God, she's a punk, eh? She could cry." No, I'm actually a real person who feels real things, and when things touch me, they touch me. I can't control that. You know, your perception is your truth, but my truth is that...
Your truth is your truth.
Yeah, my truth is that I'm always going to be me, you know. According to Kawin Dubois, I may not be right for you, but I'm right for somebody, you know, and we have to acknowledge that. And that's somebody for that's somebody for everybody is their divine being, whoever they consider it. It could be Jehovah, Allah, God, Jesus, you know, your choice. But just know that there is some divine force that guides and takes you through every experience, good, bad, and indifferent. And your ultimate destiny is to be great. It's how deep you dig to find your greatness.
Giselle, I just want to say thank you.
I love you, girl.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too.
You know, I'm not going to put her on blast, but since she's doing the show, you two have been through so many things and so many experiences as a woman, as a personality, as a mother, and you've came through all of them shining, and that's not an easy feat. And then more than that, putting yourself aside and giving others an opportunity to speak about their journey. I know this is a healing process for you as well, but more than that, to be able to differentiate and capture it in the way it needs to be captured is definitely something that needs to be commended. And I love and I appreciate you, Nicola.
Thank you.
Continue to be great and walk in your light, my sister. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. It has always been a long-time dream of mine to sit at an executive table, and I was able to accomplish this at the age of 26. And it's not every day a young person my age gets an opportunity to be a part of the decision-making process of a progressive company such as West Indies Oil. WeArc is on a progressive path to empowering women and advancing them into key positions at the management level. And so to work along with these females, it is a good opportunity. You feel motivated around them. You feel that you can accomplish anything. You feel as though you have that spirit of determination to step up every day and to overcome any sort of challenges.
thank you to our partners, the Halo Foundation, WEOC, where innovative oil solutions count, Geo's, It's That Good, Simply Coffee Antigua, Studio 72 Antigua, Simply Me, Down West Car Rentals, more than just a good deal.